We're good. Q&A time. We don't have the... So what we have is we open up the Gumbocast. If you have questions, we'll take one or two of them, and we will answer them, basically. In order to respond, follow me on Twitch at GameShowGumbo and use the hashtag GumboCastTopics. Or you can like us on Facebook. We're still under Game Show Garbage. We're working on rebranding that, or we might have to do a whole new one. But every other week, we will have a new podcast tonight. Sign up where you can throw us topic ideas or questions. And one of those is from Jose Vasquez. And he asked this question. How about ranking the Nickelodeon Game Shows post-2005? Which is after Nickelodeon Studios closed down.
Alrighty.
So we have a list. Actually, Jordan has the list.
Alrighty. We'll start with My Family's Got Guts. Even though that was technically still at Orlando, that was filmed outside of Nick Studios.
Right.
Then we go to then the rest are all LA. So it's Brain Surge, Figure It Out, the Figure Out Revival, Webheads.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Paradise Run.
Yep.
Keep It Spotless.
Yep.
Splatalot, but we have a big question mark because that is an import.
Yep, Canadian.
Double Dare Revival. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And then I wrote the Crystal Maze. Because the Crystal Maze is here. It's Crystal Maze. I'm going to be the Maze Master. Everyone's going to love it. The fact that I'm going to be the Maze Master of the Crystal Maze, right?
Nope.
What?
They got Richard Ayoade. You've been passed over again, unfortunately.
Again, what? If it's not going to be some YouTuber, you just know it.
Richard Ayoade is actually a big-time star in England, and it just makes sense that way.
I'm a broadcast journalist. All right. So
Not as much as a broadcast journalist as Bobby Heenan was.
All right. Well, we have 9 shows.
All right. So let's start at the top.
All right. So first, we got My Family's Got Guts.
I don't like this show. And the big reason is Ben Lyons sucks at his job.
Oh, I mean, I'm okay with Ben Lyons. But I think what I hated most was the multi-part Agricrag, the multi-part Radical Rock, and there was only 2 games.
Yeah, it was bad.
You want 4 games. You want, because there was always, the track challenge, the water challenge, and
a couple of aerial events.
That's it. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, and if it was just regular Guts, and now there's sort of a cry to get Guts back on the air, to get kids motivated and moving and all that stuff, which I'm thinking, yeah.
Think about okay, how much is it to get, I don't know, Kevin Durant for a day to guest on Guts, to be a guest star? Or
not him, because he's a spineless snake. I know who'll do it.
Not as host.
Well, I know who can do it and be faithful to it and probably bring back Mike O'Malley.
Mike would do it.
Mike said he'd do it. Mo said she would do it.
That's a good revival. I mean, they both remember Guts. And then all you gotta do is just get celebrity cameos to stop by. Hey, look.
I got it. I have the answer to produce it.
All right.
Steph Curry.
I would love that, because he did a great job with Holy Moly, and I think he could do a great job. I'm sure if there was a revival, that Aggro Crag would be crazy. But this My Family's Got Guts.
No,
I did not. But I don't know if it's the worst of the list.
I will say this: it's really close. For this simple reason, they taped 2 seasons. They only aired 1.
Don't they want to win the big family vacation?
I don't know. I don't know what the grand prize was for that show.
It was a family vacation.
And not a car?
No, not even. No, not even trips to the Olympics or something athletic, like a sports. No.
Even though Guts didn't give away prizes either, except for one instance where they had the big debut for season 2. where they had an hour-long show where they had 6 events and a new aggro crag. They forked over money for scholarships.
All right. Next is Brain Surge. We're also counting Family Brain Surge in this. It's together.
Awesome. I love getting back to Scott Stone and how awesome he is at kids shows.
This is Brain Surge. This is, I think, Aaron Solomon's first foray into lateral thinking puzzle games.
Yep. Done by Jeff Suthpen as host, who is brilliant as a host. I'm sad that Jeff Suthpen isn't getting more gigs.
Well, after he killed people in 101 Ways to Leave a Game Show, I mean, where else to go?
That's true. Well, he did Family Brain Surge after that, so...
If you get this question wrong, and one of you will, you'll go down the brain train. No. So Brain Surge, I mean, I like it. I think that is I will say this in nice, I think this was the last of the original Nickelodeon Game Show. I know there are a lot afterwards. I know, like, Paradise Run exists, but Brain Surge, I think, was the last of this is a Nickelodeon game show without trying to do a revival. The case being is storytelling.
Yeah. And not only that, the puzzles were hilarious, and they bulked it up for season 2. Season 1 was fun, where they had a little brain drain and they had the exit, actually going through the exit. But yeah, they made the brain drain bigger in season 2 and season 3 and for Family Brain Surge.
And then the final round, 3x3, 4x4, 5x5.
No, 4x4, 5x5, 6x6.
Yeah, that's right.
And the slamming of a lifetime.
And it's like, okay, it's not that much of a sliming, but it's still like, okay, Nickelodeon, you got slimed, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I'm going to put it in the middle, though, myself, considering what's up ahead.
Well, we're going to do this by, you know how Game Show Newsnet has Who's Your Daddy?
What there's another Game Show podcast?
Yeah, well, that one's been around longer in text form, then it became a podcast. So I'm going to put Brain Surge ahead of My Family's Got Guts.
Yes, I'm leaving it still on top. Okay, so next, Figure It Out. The revival, Figure It Out.
And Seth Penn again, but this was the first revival of an old Nickelodeon show. To me, it just didn't feel right.
To me, this was a perfect revival of You Did Figure It Out, because at the time, at the peak of this, was when they had a lot of live action shows. They didn't have all that. So they had the stars. They had the talent. They had slime. They had lots of slime. No, this was like more slime than I saw on any version of any of these other Nickelodeon shows. Even more than Double Dare, I will say. And then they added that new twist of the
honor word.
Yeah, and if they say it, then the contestant gets slimed. And I thought, okay, that's a nice switch up on it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this is a faithful adaptation, and I love it a lot. I cannot let go of this. This is this is almost right up there with $100,000 Pyramid in terms of my favorite revivals of game shows.
Wow. I was never a big fan of Figure It Out. But this is okay itself, but I can't put it above Brain Surge. I have a bigger attachment to Brain Surge. I just think that show is perfect.
Now, this is your show, so I will put it right in the sandwich of it. Just note, I put Figure Out above Brain Surge if this was my list, but this is Cindy's list. If you don't like it, take it up with her.
That's right. I'm the Tony Kornheiser to your Michael Wilbon. Next.
Webheads. Carlos Pinavera has the funny, laugh out loud, Ryan Seacrest approved show where people fall down and then they hit themselves with giant plastic balls, or they break stuff, or a dog does something cute.
And was not funny.
It was originally called Going Viral,
which is a much better name than Webheads.
And I just none of it really spoke out. And then they try to do like a cool, if they get eliminated by water, they get wiped out. And it's like with water, but the winner is with slime.
Did they get any other prizes?
I think it's some. And it's like the only like it just feels tacked on, like surfing the web. You get it because you're surfing, and it's okay because it was a lot. Because like Brain Surge, it was what was going on in the video. But there was that one round where it was just called the point of impact, where it was just like hit the buzzer right when the guy gets hit in the nuts. And it's like, that's the show.
I think I gotta put this below My Family's Got Guts.
It's lower to me too. Next, Paradise Run, Stone production, featuring 3 teams of 2 as they go through a Hawaiian resort to compete in 3 various challenges before meeting up with their parents in a luxury suite. The first one to win gets to stay there, I guess, and $1,000.
Not bad for a kid's show. This is Mandel's first big show to do.
I love it. I think this was a great revival. This is not even a revival. This is
this is its own thing.
This is kind of like, the easiest way to say it's like Amazing Race Junior. But the only this is like the closest we get to Legends of the Hidden Temple if we couldn't get anything, because it was with 3 teams of 2. Some of the challenges are the same. There's even word puzzles. The only thing that's my big criticism, and this is where it's going to go down on my list, is they do the confessional thing. And I don't know what about you, Cyndi. I'm okay with confessionals, but when it's clearly forced onto by like the producers, it feels awful.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the confessionals in Endurance.
Yes. This challenge was tough.
Yeah, you could say
we were a great team.
Yeah, I think with an adult you have more verbiage that you could pronounce and get with a few colorful words. But you really don't have that luxury with a show like this. So I think it's the only knock I would have on Paradise Run. And that's going to take a blow Brain Surge, in my opinion.
All right, so are you going to put above Figure It Out or below Figure It Out?
Above.
You're going to be above Figure It Out.
Well, it's because I'm not a big fan of Figure It Out.
Alrighty, now I would
we'll have our own separate list from here on out.
All right, I'm going to make your list, and I'm going to make my list right now just so we can...
Okay.
All right, doot. I mean, so far it's almost the same in terms of last place, by the way.
The last 2 spots.
Yes, last 2 spots are the same. Okay. And then next is... we're looking at Keep It Spotless. John Cena's Keep It Spotless.
John Cena came up with a good idea, but he failed miserably at one thing. Hosting.
He did not host? No, it's just a narrating voice doing the silly...
a robot narrative voice. I think they tried to make this like one of those Japanese game shows.
I mean, they took it off the ITV as a one-off special.
Mm-hmm.
And they went, oh, this show would be great as a game show for children because it deals with mess.
And it's got the right idea. And the budget is insane.
They can win up to $10,000 on a kid's game show.
Which is insane, in my opinion.
$10,000 to kids. And from the episodes I've seen, it gets close. It's like $8,000. It's like $9,000.
I think I've seen a $10,000 win.
It's not that easy, but it's a clever show. I think it's not as... it's physical... it's supposed to be reverse double there. It's supposed to be you're doing the physical challenge, but not get messy.
Right. My thing is, I think if this had John Cena hosting and him being his silly self in the white suit, like we saw with him in the promos,
Yes.
it would be a much better show. But the way it is now, I cannot, in good conscience, put it above Paradise Run.
All right. So you want to put it below Paradise Run? I would want to put below Figure It Out, though.
It's tough. I think the gameplay keeps it above Figure It Out, but just barely.
All right, because I put it right below Paradise Run on my list, but above Brain Surge. It's my third spot, too.
Okay.
We're both in agreement. It's a third position spot so far.
Yeah. But we vary differently on Brain Surge and Paradise Run and Figure It Out.
Next, Splatalot.
Import. It's currently airing on BYU TV, where they re-edited the intros.
Uh-huh.
It's essentially Wipeout for kids.
That's not bad. It's not bad for a Wipeout for kids. I mean, they even did the slippery stair thing.
Yeah, but to me, I don't think it's that good.
You see, you really dislike it.
I don't. I just think it's just there.
It's existent. All right.
And now I'm kind of misremembering who hosted the Nick version.
Okay, so the Nick version was the Canadian team. So for their Splatalot, it was I think it was Jason Agnew and Matt Chen. And then they remade it on the BYU with Stacy and Tori.
I think I prefer Stacy and Tori to the Canadian guys.
Jason and Matt Chen. And Matt was supposed to be like the John Henson, I really love it when they fall on their face.
Yeah, you can't do that with kids.
And Jason Agnew is supposed to be, the sports broadcaster.
John Anderson.
But he's a comedian.
No, that doesn't work. I'm gonna put it below Figure It Out on my list.
Below Figure It Out. So below Figure It Out, but above Guts.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I'm just gonna tell you right now, that's the same.
Wow.
Okay, next, the 2019-2018 Double Dare.
I am a big fan. I think you're a big fan as well because we know people who work on the show. I think Liza Koshy was a great host.
Absolutely.
Mark Summers fit in his role perfectly between from host to announcer, and even as a sub-host for half a show when Liza got sick.
It's now the problem with me tournaments I think might bring it down one notch on my list, but season 1 was great. If they just had the season 2 be just more of season 1 but with a bigger budget, more mess, more chocolate, whipped cream, bring back Soda Jerk, maybe the gumdrop.
Well, you had the spiritual successor of
the
Soda
hot dog.
Jerk with the hot dog.
And the only cool thing in season 2 is Mount St. Double Dare. But it's, to me, that going in the points instead of dollars just made me go, ugh.
I think it came because a lot of people's one complaint was only the winners kept the cash.
Both teams should get their money. That's the consolation.
Or just split the money in half. Or just not have the big amounts. Just do the old style, 25, 50, 100, 50, 100, 200. You'd give away less money.
It just, to me, that's the big complaint. The games were great. I loved the catapult game. I liked the tea party game where they had to drop the lemonade and then the fruit punch powder spills all over the stage. They are creative on the show. The questions were brilliant. That is modern Double Dare at its finest. My other big complaint is they didn't give away a Nintendo Switch. You would think
they were sponsored by Nintendo. You'd think that would be easy. So I'm torn. Do I put this above Brain Surge or below Brain Surge?
I mean, it is faithful. That theme song is going to still be stuck in my head long after the show ends. I mean, if the time comes that they want me to run the obstacle course, I'll do it. I'd still do the obstacle course.
I think I've come to the realization that I got to put it below Brain Surge.
Whoa. You're putting it above Paradise Run, below Brain Surge right now. That is... I was thinking you were going to put that as your number one myself. I mean...
The more I watch the 2018 revival, because I'm currently putting it to DVD, maybe it's just me getting older. I don't know.
Okay.
I love it, but when you talk about the best of all time, do you want to go for a revival, or do you want to go with something that's original and unique?
To me, when I think of this show, I think quintessential Nickelodeon game show.
You're right.
So to me, you're thinking, because Brain Surge is the last. I think I said before earlier in the episode, Brain Surge is the last Nickelodeon game show before the big Passover, and I think you're right. We're still playing at number one in your list. To me, that's the debate on my end. Is Figured Out versus Double Dare. Which is to me the bigger show.
Yeah, that's the debate I'm having too, and I keep on going back and forth.
To me, as much as I love Double Dare, I would still put Figure It Out above Double Dare, only because
of the tournaments.
Tournaments.
I will put Double Dare above Brain Surge, though.
Yes, you would put it's Brain Surge and Double Dare Paradise Run on your list.
No, Double Dare Brain Surge Paradise Run.
Okay, so that's your number one.
Yeah, I'm going to put number one.
Alrighty, Double Dare it is.
And the last one is...
Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Can we even count this because it's an adult game show?
Yes. Because there's kids on the show as the fifth graders.
Mm-hmm.
I love the show. I think this is the best version of fifth grader. I still wish there were... Because at least you get through all the questions. That was my biggest complaint with the Fox edition, is you never get every question. So you never get to know what that fourth grade astronomy question was.
What about the syndicated version?
Syndicated version was okay. The issue with that is they put way too much focus on the gimmick casting. They were still gimmick casting like in the original Fox run. Whereas in the Are You Smart Fifth Grade Nickelodeon run, they're not really putting the whole evidence on, like, this person's a Mensa member. This person has 4 PhDs. They're now kind of focusing on, like, just, like, the occupation. And it's mostly, like, the fun mom. Like, this is supposed to be, like, people's parents now, instead of just, like, full-on, here's the genius.
Or this guy is a pun master. Hi, Ben Zeke.
Hey.
Well, Ben was actually on the syndicated fifth grader when they did Sesame Street Week.
With Bert was there. I remember that episode.
And I think Ben won... I don't remember what Ben won, but I think he got $25,000 and bailed out.
See, for me, I was going to be a contestant on the syndicated first grader first season. And I had to get pulled out because I was kind of blabbing to producers how much I knew about Ben Franklin, and that was like the answer to 2 of the bonus questions.
You dope! You don't play your hand.
I did play my hand. I'm the idiot. I played my hand because the question was who wrote Poor Richard's Almanac. Like that was the question, and it's like, son of a bitch. So if you ever play the Nintendo DS version, this is a legit thing. The Nintendo DS version, the default character skin that is supposed to be me. Wow. I'm in the video game. Because that's exactly what I wore on tape day as my costume.
That's inside baseball right there. I love the new version. but I don't love it as much as I do Double Dare or Brain Surge or Paradise Run.
All right, so that's your fourth position.
That I will put fifth grader as position 4.
All righty.
So your list first, then my list, because this is the end.
So to me, Are You Smarter Than the Fifth Grader is still a great show. I'd put it above Paradise Run only because I keep gravitating towards that show a little bit more because of the speediness. But I'm not going to put it in the top 2 where Figured Out and Double Dare are, solely because I think once you said this is an adult show, not really a kid's show, that for me, my final, this is my ranking of 9. First place, Figured Out. Second place, Double Dare. Third place, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Fourth place, Paradise Run. Fifth place, Keep It Spotless. Sixth place, Brain Surge. Seventh place, Splatalot. Eighth is My Family's Got Guts. Last place is Webheads.
We agree on position 5 and position 7, 8, and 9.
The dead last. We agree on the worst. That's saying much. Your list.
Double Dare number 1, but barely. Brain Surge number 2. Paradise Run 3, Fifth Grader 4, Keep It Spotless 5, Figure It Out 6, then Splatalot, My Family's Got Guts, and Webheads.
Correct.
And I'll ask Jessica Brand when she gets back in 2 weeks what her thoughts are, and we'll do that at the beginning of next show.